in the wild. The greatest battles often begin not with an attack, but in complete silence. Across the harshest corners of the earth, every heartbeat echoes as a warning, and every glance is a careful calculation, weighing strength, distance, and the chance of survival. Nothing here is left to luck. Every motion is the product of millions of years of evolution. In this relentless environment, predators and prey watch each other with absolute vigilance. One misstep can mean the difference between life and death. Tension hangs thick in the air as bodies prepare to flee, strike, or endure. Only those who interpret their surroundings with precision can survive these deadly encounters. These confrontations are far from meaningless acts of violence. They are the ultimate demonstration of instinct, strategy, and adaptation. Each chase, ambush, and desperate struggle preserves the balance of entire ecosystems, reminding us that the fight for survival is a fundamental part of life in the natural world.
As the sun dips behind the rim of the crater, deep roars echo off the sheer cliffs. These are not just territorial warnings, they are proclamations of absolute power. The lion, the apex predator of Ngorongoro Crater, asserts its dominance. Recent studies estimate that between 65 and 75 lions roam this region, organized into roughly 8 prides, with a density of about 20 to 25 individuals per 63 square kilometers. The males of Ngorongoro are particularly striking, their dark manes adding to their imposing presence. Mane color and size are influenced by genetics, hormones, and climate. Males with very dark, even black, manes typically show higher testosterone levels, greater reproductive success, and longer lifespans. In this crater, over 60% of adult males boast dark manes. In leadership contests, a black mane not only intimidates rivals, but also attracts females. Yet the roots of this strength run deep. Ngorongoro's dark manes are the legacy of a history shaped by extreme survival. In the past, a devastating epidemic nearly wiped out the lion population. leaving only a few survivors. From this small group, the entire population was rebuilt a story of resilience, though one that created a tightly related lineage, where each lion mirrors another, a dynasty forged in isolation. In the crater, limited space, combined with abundant prey forces, prides to live in close quarters, intensifying territorial clashes. From opposite sides, two adult males emerge. There is no retreat. Their roars shake the surroundings, heralding the inevitable battle. They collide with forces nearing 180 kilograms, claws tearing at the earth, teeth glinting as they target each other's necks. This fight is about more than controlling territory. The stakes are bloodlines and legacy. In Ngorongoro's ecosystem, the winner retains territory and access to females, while the defeated male is expelled, losing his place in the social hierarchy. Life in Ngorongoro is a testament to constant adaptability and strategic flexibility. While the male lions dedicate most of their time to patrolling and defending their territory, it is the lionesses who orchestrate the hunts. Across much of Africa, lions succeed in capturing prey only 18 to 30% of the time. In Ngorongoro, however, this rate can climb to 35 or even 40%, thanks to a rich supply of herbivores and finely honed cooperative hunting techniques passed down through generations. As the sunset fades and the heat lingers among the tall grasses, tension fills the air. A pride has just brought down a zebra. And victory seems certain, but along the edges of the clearing, stealthy shapes appear. Spotted hyenas. Not just one, but several. Suddenly, a sharp, eerie laugh cuts through the silence, a bold challenge to the lions. Encounters between these two dominant predators of Ngorongoro are far from unusual. This is an ancient rivalry, inherited from generation to generation. The crater acts not only as a natural fortress, but also as a pressure cooker for ecological interaction. Its limited space and lack of escape routes lead to more frequent and intense clashes between lions and hyenas, situations rarely seen elsewhere on Earth. Ngorongoro's hyenas are far more than scavengers. Highly skilled hunters, they regularly challenge lions and can steal their hard-earned kills. In this confined landscape, the traditional rules of the savanna seem to shift daily. With a population estimated between 380 and over 470 individuals, the spotted hyena is the crater's most numerous carnivore. Recent studies confirm at least 8 clans, some with up to 80 members, thriving in territories no larger than 40 square kilometers. Their rivalry with lions goes well beyond a single carcass. At such densities, confrontations can occur almost daily. While lions possess superior strength individually, hyenas counter this with numbers and cooperative hunting tactics. This ongoing cycle of confrontation has shaped a unique ecological balance, where nothing is guaranteed and the strongest is not always victorious. Hyenas do not roam alone. Each clan operates as a highly structured matriarchal society, with an alpha female at the top and hierarchy passing from mother to daughter. When males reach maturity, they cannot remain in their birth clan. They must leave and seek integration into another group to reproduce a system that prevents inbreeding within the crater's confined environment. In this closed world, a young male's departure is not an act of desperation, but a strategic choice. An invisible network of cues seems to guide them, familiar scents carried by the wind, echoes of kinship within distant clans. This ancestral social knowledge ensures that even far from home, a future opportunity exists. Young males often join clans where a sibling or a peer from the same generation has already settled, increasing their chances of acceptance and reproductive success. They also rely on an extraordinarily complex communication system, including laughter, growls, shrieks, and powerful calls that carry across long distances. In a confined setting like Ngorongoro, these laughter-like calls are more than sounds. They are the voice of a resilient, dynamic, and intricately interconnected ecosystem. One of Africa's most formidable herds moves steadily across the savanna, the African buffalo. Unlike their domesticated relatives, these animals boast massive bodies, often exceeding 900 kilograms. Their broad, curved horns meet at the base to form a solid structure known as a boss, a natural bony shield providing exceptional protection against predators. This defensive adaptation gives the buffalo a survival advantage unmatched by most large mammals. They live in large herds, sometimes numbering several hundred individuals. Cohesion and discipline within the group are crucial. As they traverse dry plains or cross rivers, the herd maintains a compact formation. Calves and weaker members stay at the center, while the strongest males surround them, ready to confront any threat. This living fortress proves highly effective, enabling the herd to withstand attacks from the savanna's most dangerous predators. Their senses of smell and hearing are highly developed, compensating for limited vision. At the slightest unfamiliar sound carried by the wind, the entire group halts and raises its heads in alert. When lions or hyenas are detected, the buffalo instantly form a defensive line. Dominant males step forward, charging with power and swinging their horns to push back the attackers. Often, the entire herd participates, turning a predator's hunt into a perilous challenge for the hunters themselves. There are numerous accounts of lions being seriously injured or even killed by the horns of a buffalo. Yet crossing rivers remains one of the species' most dangerous moments. In deep waters, Nile crocodiles lie in wait, targeting any buffalo that strays from the group. Calves and weakened adults are the most vulnerable. When a buffalo is pulled underwater, the herd often halts, and several males may rush into the river to attempt a rescue. This bold response can occasionally wrest the prey from the predator's grasp. During the dry season, buffalo must travel long distances in search of water, leaving the herd fatigued and more susceptible to lion attacks. In these critical moments, cooperation becomes essential. If the herd scatters, isolated individuals rarely survive. But when they stay together, they become formidable opponents, capable of driving off even large groups of lions. African buffalo are also known for their unpredictable temperament. They may appear calm while grazing, but the slightest provocation can trigger a sudden and violent charge. This behavior has made the buffalo one of Africa's deadliest animals, responsible for more human fatalities than many apex predators. With powerful muscles, speed, and lethal horns, they command absolute respect. Their ecological role is equally significant as they move in large herds. Their hooves break up old grass, promoting the growth of fresh shoots. Buffalo also help disperse seeds through their dung, contributing to the regeneration of savanna vegetation. At the same time, they provide a vital food source for large predators, holding a key position in the food chain. On the plains of Botswana, a herd forming a defensive circle is a striking display of collective strength. In a world where every species fights for survival, group cohesion is the key to resilience. For lions or crocodiles, taking down even a single buffalo is never easy. For the herd, unity serves as the strongest shield against any threat. Just to the north, the Serengeti Plains stretch out like an endless ocean of grass. This is no ordinary landscape. It is one of the most extraordinary wildlife spectacles still unfolding on Earth today. Every year, between 1.5 and 2 million wildebeests, accompanied by over 200,000 zebras, around 500,000 gazelles, and tens of thousands of elands, embark on a journey spanning more than 800 kilometers across the Serengeti Mara ecosystem. If the Great Migration is nature's majestic symphony, the Serengeti itself is the orchestra, the stage where the rhythms of life are born, repeated, and transformed into an eternal cycle covering more than 14,700 square kilometers of northern Tanzania. Here, life does more than endure. It flourishes with a richness rarely seen elsewhere. The name Serengeti, derived from the Maasai language meaning endless plains, reflects not only the vastness of the landscape, but also the constant movement and relentless renewal of life. When the rains recede and clouds lift from the southern highlands, the Ndutu region near the Ngorongoro Conservation Area becomes the starting point. The soil in this area consists of layers of ancient volcanic ash built up over millennia, creating grasslands rich in minerals like potassium, calcium, and silica. These fertile conditions allow vegetation to grow rapidly, with nutrient levels up to 25% higher than in the more neutral soils to the north. For this reason, between January and March, massive herds of wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles converge here. Grant's zebras lead the migration as if guided by an ancestral memory. Their route is not random. It follows a biological map passed down through generations. Within the Serengeti Mara ecosystem, nearly 200,000 Grant's zebras participate in this annual journey. Unlike the more slender wildebeest, Grant's zebras have a sturdy build, weighing between 220 and 300 kilograms. Though the smallest zebra subspecies, they exhibit remarkable endurance, capable of keeping pace throughout this vast migration. The black and white stripes of Grant's zebras serve more than just a visual purpose. They help regulate body temperature, allowing these animals to endure the dry heat of the tropical plains. As pioneers of the migration, Grant's zebras feed first on the tall, coarse, and dry grasses that many other herbivores avoid. By stripping away this tougher vegetation, they reveal tender, nutrient-rich shoots, the exact grasses that wildebeests prefer. This creates one of the most remarkable symbiotic relationships within the Great Migration, a silent alliance that keeps one of the planet's most extraordinary natural cycles in motion. While the zebras mark the path, blue wildebeest takes center stage in one of the world's most breathtaking birth events. Every year, for a few weeks between February and March, roughly 500,000 calves are born. That's nearly 8,000 new lives each day. This synchronized birthing is not random. It is a finely tuned evolutionary strategy designed to overwhelm predators like lions, hyenas, and cheetahs, which can only capture a small fraction of this life explosion. After the calving season ends, when tender grasses have been consumed and the earth begins to crack under the first intense summer sun, the true wildebeest migration begins. No other mammal dominates these journeys in such massive numbers. Each year, 1.5 to 1.7 million individuals move together. Adult wildebeests are medium-sized, weighing between 180 and 250 kilograms. By mid-year, the greatest challenges arise. Rivers become the most formidable obstacles. At the Grumeti River, calves born months earlier begin to tire, and the waterholes prove irresistible. Beneath the surface, hundreds of Nile crocodiles lie in wait. Some wildebeests are caught and dragged under by these hidden predators. Others freeze, helpless, watching as invisible giants emerge to seize members of their herd. It is a stark reminder that in the Great Migration, every step carries the weight of survival or sacrifice. In July, the great journey presses onward to the north. The Serengeti terrain rises, the air grows dry, and the sky seems to stretch endlessly. Northern Serengeti reveals a unique beauty: scattered kopjes, granite formations that jut like fins from a sea of golden grass. These natural outcrops serve as perfect lookout points for lion prides, allowing them to observe vast herds of herbivores from a distance. But by August, everything changes. The Mara River blocks the path, reshaping the course of the migration. Unlike the Grumeti, the Mara is deeper, its currents swifter, and its waters teeming with a higher density of Nile crocodiles. Here unfolds one of the most primal and awe-inspiring spectacles in nature. Thousands of wildebeests gather, lowing and pressing against one another, before plunging into the turbulent waters, facing a deadly corridor of predators. Yet amid this peril emerges a vital paradox. The mass deaths of wildebeests during the crossing are not an end, but the beginning of a new cycle. Millions of kilograms of organic matter settle at the riverbed, forming a colossal reservoir of nutrients that lasts for months. Nitrogen and phosphorus released nourish entire populations of fish, insects, and algae, turning loss into a critical driver of the ecosystem. Adult Nile crocodiles inhabiting this region can reach lengths of 3.5 to 5 meters, with dominant individuals stretching up to 6 meters and weighing over 680 kilograms. Beneath their tough skin lie bony plates called osteoderms, a natural armor that turns them into living tanks in the water. Their eyes, nostrils, and ears sit atop their heads, allowing them to remain almost completely submerged while monitoring the surface above. Their bite is among the most powerful in the animal kingdom, capable of crushing the bones of large herbivores such as wildebeests or zebras. Rather than chewing, they grasp their prey firmly, drag it into the water, and execute a devastating rotational twist. At crossing points, like the Mara River, the arrival of migrating herds signals a season of plenty for the Nile crocodiles. When tens of thousands of animals enter the river in a single day, the crocodiles rarely need to chase. Paradoxically, the more wildebeests cross together, the higher the chances of survival for each individual. Instinctively, the herds seem to understand this. If they can make it across the Mara, they will reach the Masai Mara Reserve, the promised land of endless green grasslands. Across the vast open plains of Africa, small groups of antelopes move cautiously through the tall grass. These herbivores are among the most common in the savanna and provide a critical food source for countless predators. Sleek and lightweight, they weigh between 40 and 80 kilograms and are built for speed and agility. Capable of reaching nearly 80 kilometers per hour, they can also change direction instantly to evade an attack. Their most feared predator is the cheetah. Unlike lions that hunt in coordinated groups, or crocodiles that rely on stealth in water, the cheetah depends entirely on raw speed. Upon spotting prey, usually a young or isolated individual, it approaches with low, silent steps. With a lightweight frame, a highly flexible spine, and powerful hind muscles, the cheetah can accelerate beyond 95 kilometers per hour in mere seconds. Its long tail acts as a rudder, keeping balance through sharp turns at high speed. When within 45 meters of its target, the cheetah launches into a full sprint. Chases rarely last more than 30 seconds, but in that brief window, the outcome is decided. The antelope zigzags, twisting and turning repeatedly to throw off the predator. Often, a sudden change in direction can destabilize the cheetah, causing it to miss. When the attack lands, the feline's claws lock into the prey while its jaws clamp around the neck. Death comes swiftly and silently. The cheetah conserves energy and avoids attracting attention. Unlike lions, it does not share its kill. It must eat quickly and alone, as hyenas, vultures, or even other big cats could steal the meal at any moment. To minimize risk, the cheetah drags its prey to a sheltered spot and feeds rapidly, gaining the energy needed to survive and, for females, to provide for their cubs. In the savannah, the loss of one antelope balances the ecosystem. But for the cheetah, this meal is life itself. The encounter between antelope and cheetah is a perfect display of evolution in action, speed against speed, reflex against reflex. Each chase is a test of extreme adaptation, where only the swiftest and most resilient survive and pass their genes on to the next generation. When the midday sun beats down on the Mara River, its surface begins to ripple. From the murky waters, massive grey shapes emerge, bulging eyes, small ears, and colossal heads breaking the river's reflection. These are hippos, Africa's largest semi-aquatic mammals and among the continent's most formidable animals. An adult can exceed 4 tons in weight and measure over 4 meters in length. Their nearly 5-centimeter thick skin acts as natural armor. While curved tusks approaching half a meter make them capable of taking on almost any adversary, for much of the day, they remain submerged to avoid overheating, exposing only their eyes, ears, and nostrils to monitor their surroundings safely. At night, they emerge in small groups to graze on open plains, with a single individual consuming more than 70 kilograms of grass in one evening. Despite being herbivores, hippos are fiercely territorial. Any intruder, be it a crocodile, lion, or human, is treated as a threat. Females defend calves aggressively. A Nile crocodile approaching young will face an immediate attack. They open their jaws nearly to a full angle, revealing massive tusks while letting out deep bellows that echo along the river. A single bite can crush a crocodile's skull. In many encounters, the reptile retreats, surrendering control of the riverbank to the hippo. Males are equally uncompromising, marking their territory by spinning their tails while defecating to spread scent warnings. When a rival male ignores the signals, confrontation is unavoidable. Two enormous bodies collide with force, clashing heads and tusks. Deep wounds can turn the water red. These battles are never meaningless. They establish hierarchy and determine access to the river's most prized sections. Within the Mara ecosystem, the hippopotamus plays a crucial ecological role. Its movements between water and land carve channels in the soil, while its waste enriches the river with essential nutrients, supporting fish and microorganisms and keeping the aquatic food web alive. The hippo's presence is both a threat to intruders and a balancing force within the river system. Hippos also maintain